The Valley. It is a late afternoon in September. The scene is a valley in southwestern France. The river flows slowly between the steep, wooded hills. The sun is shining on the water. It is quiet. A man is sitting on a flat rock which sticks out into the river. He is alone. He sits absolutely still, like a stone statue. After a while, he bends to look at something in the water, a fish perhaps. As he does so, something hits the water and there is a sudden splash. He puts his hand to his ear. It is covered with blood. He falls forward into the river and disappears into its muddy water. Chapter 1. The River. The pain exploded in my ear, sending shockwaves through my body. When I saw the blood on my hand, I knew it was a bullet. Someone had shot at me from the hillside. I immediately fell forward and swam under water further up the river. Far above me, the green and yellow light of the surface seemed out of reach, but I had to swim as far upriver as I could. They might fire at me again if I showed my head above the surface. When I felt as if I could swim no further, I came up under some trees by the riverbank. Here I was safe. No one could see me from the hillside. My heart was racing. Someone had tried to kill me. Why would anyone want to kill me? Where were they now? What would they do next? I forced myself to be calm. All my old spy training came back to me. Stop and think before you act. Decide on the most important thing to do. Take one thing at a time. Above all, never panic. Never lose your cool. Always stay calm. Whoever had shot at me would probably come to check that I was dead. I decided to find a place to hide and wait there. Slowly and carefully, I crept on hands and knees along the riverbank until I could see the rock clearly again. I sat down behind some bushes and waited. I pressed my wet shirt against my ear to try and stop the bleeding. Only 5 minutes later, I heard the sound of someone coming down the path from the hillside. He was a tall man, about my age. He had his back to me, so I could not see his face. But when he looked in my direction, I saw that it was Hyde. He turned and walked down the path. Chapter 2. On the Hillside. 200 meters up on the hillside, a man and a woman were arguing. Through the branches of the trees, they had a clear view of the rock in the river. They spoke in whispers so no one would hear them, but they were very tense and angry. The man was still holding the rifle he had just fired.
"What happened? Did you get him?"
the woman asked.
"I'm not sure. He moved just as I fired. But he fell into the river, so I think I got him." "You think?"
whispered the woman fiercely.
"Thinking is not good enough. We have to be sure. We have to find the body to be sure he's dead."
Okay, don't let's waste any more time. I'll go down to the rock. If I can't find him there, I'll look further up the river. You'd better take the path down towards the bridge. It's possible his body has been carried down by the current of the river. But the river is flowing very slowly, so it will take some time.
"I'm not happy about splitting up. Maybe we should stay together."
Suppose he isn't dead. You know how dangerous he is. I wouldn't want to meet him on my own.
Don't worry about it, the man said. Here, take my pistol. But I'm pretty sure you won't need it. He must be dead.
All right. I just hope you're right. Where shall we meet?
Go to the cafe by the bridge if you don't find him. You know, the place where we left the car. I'll join you there.
Chapter 3. The Fight. Jürgen Hyde. A friend. Why had he tried to kill me? I didn't understand. We had been on the San Cristobal operation together. Hyde, Nina, Cass, and me. We were a team until the operation failed. We had all been sent to safe houses after that, but we were not supposed to meet again, ever. We were all told to disappear, to start new lives, to become other people. Above all, we were told never to meet each other again. That was 5 years ago. So how had Hyde found me? Someone must have sent him. But who and why? What had happened to bring him here? As I watched, Hyde came back to the riverbank. He put his rifle against a tree and took out a pair of binoculars. Slowly, he looked along the other bank of the river. He was obviously looking for my body. I suddenly felt angry. He had been my friend, and he had tried to kill me, and now he was looking for my body. I had to find out why he had tried to kill me and who had sent him. I picked up a thick piece of wood lying near my hiding place. My ear was bleeding heavily, but I tried to ignore the pain. Quietly and carefully, I crept up behind Hyde. He was so busy looking at the river through his binoculars that he did not notice me. I brought the stick down hard on the back of his head. He fell down and rolled a little further down the riverbank. I thought I had knocked him out, but as I bent over him, he suddenly grabbed me. I felt his hands around my throat, slowly squeezing the breath out of me. The stick was still in my hand, and with the last of my energy, I brought it down on his head. He let go of my throat immediately. In a sudden burst of anger, I began to hit him again and again with the stick. As my anger left me, I realized that I had gone too far. Hyde was dead. I had foolishly lost my chance to find the answers to my questions, and all because of my anger. Hyde's body was now at the bottom of the riverbank. His face was in the water, and the slow current of the river carried away a steady flow of blood. I pulled the body along the riverbank to a place where some overhanging trees and low bushes hid me from any curious eyes. I need not have worried. It was evening, and I knew that anyone out fishing or hiking would already be going home. The surface of the river was still, except for the occasional fish jumping for flies. Far away, a church clock struck 7. It was a perfect autumn evening. First, I had to hide the body. Then, I had to find out if it was safe to return to the house. After this attack, it would not be safe for me to stay in the village. But where should I go? And then I had to find out why Hyde had come after me, and who had sent him. In the pocket of his shorts, there was a set of car keys with a registration number on the keyring. I put the keys in my pocket. There was only one place where Hyde could have parked a car, outside the cafe. It might be useful later. I rolled the body into the water pushed it into a hole under the riverbank, and put some large stones on top of it to hold it under the water. I picked up Hyde's rifle and then set off for the village. It was almost dark by the time I reached the house.